Okay. Mythosphere is a group formed by members of Pale Divine and Beelzebuz, along with Victor Arduini of. He was the original guitarist for Fate's Warning, original second guitarist for Fate's Warning, as well as more recent projects like he did a collaborative album with Bruce Bollick of Argus, which is quite good and worth checking out. Um, this record is it's their debut. It's a full length, and obviously they were very ready with it. There was no real preamble. They put out a single a couple like 3 months ago, and it was very much ready to go. I like it sounded like just a quick glance, the first single, like it was just a new Pale Divine album under a different name. But as I listened to the song, obviously this is a little bit more geared towards um, a little bit of early progressive metal, a little bit of doom metal in there, somewhat, mostly traditional heavy metal with a heavy psychedelic edge to it. And I think that translates pretty well to anyone who's a fan of Beelzebuz, because there is that sort of um, almost like if your first like metal record was 60s Deep Purple, it's sort you're like you're building upon that precedence, and that's kind of me in a way. So I sort of get the tunefulness of it, the the guitar tone, and the use of keyboards, which is not quite as pronounced, but it is pretty important on several of these songs. Um, the big show is obviously the vocal melodies, the song structures, and how catchy they are, but also the playing from Arduini, who is a fantastic guitarist, who's added a lot of just extra everything to these songs in terms of plenty of acoustic guitars, leads all over the place, and all of it very fitting. Uh, Coming from a lot of musicians who really understand what made uh, classic heavy metal and 70s rock really work as music and not just, you know, riffs. Um, so, every song in here hits. A couple of them towards the end feel a little bit more uh, plain, but not only because they're shorter. They're a little bit more to the point. It's sort of that 3 minute rock song format uh, that works quite well in traditional heavy metal. And I think that the side A is just sort of perfect. The first half of the record, the first four songs, it's got all of it checks all the boxes that sort of make Mythosphere unique. And then side B is similar, but just quicker to the point and not quite in as progressive in that sense. So um, it's one of my favorite albums of the year. I don't think that I need to really gush about it because I know that I'm just a big fan of the songwriting from Pale Divine and Beelzebuz already. So it sort of primed me to know this language, to appreciate these performances, and know that this is going to be one of those records that I pick up regularly. It is really all of those things that I like about heavy metal, uh, whether it's doom, uh, the later progressive, the sort of progressive rock influences on some of the earlier heavy metal groups in the late 60s, 70s metal and whatnot. So, anyway, it was definitely a record that I couldn't put down. I was obviously very excited about it if you read the review, and there's plenty of enough detail and enthusiasm in the review to sort of try to convince you to check it out. So if that's your thing, maybe check it out. And there you go.